We are about to look at our first results here. Just finally got some results, and we're going to start at the top of the ticket. This is percent of the vote. So Tim Walz with 49% of the vote right now. Scott Jensen with 47%.
As we move along now to the Secretary of State, the results now in the favor of Republican Kim Crockett over the incumbent Steve Simon, with just 23% of the votes now so far counted in this key race here.
Yeah, still a small amount of numbers. Attorney General for Minnesota, we just heard from Jim Schultz. It looks like he has 78% of the vote right now to Keith Ellison's 22%.
And as we step over the border into Wisconsin, another key race is the governor, Tony Evers, holding on to a small margin of lead at 52% of the vote, although a lot more votes have been counted in Wisconsin compared to Minnesota here, with nearly 400,000 votes already being reported.
Okay, and then we've got the U.S. Senate over in Wisconsin. Looks like Mandela Barnes with 56% of the vote to Ron Johnson's 44% there. And I wonder, do we have any other results? Here we go. And Auditor for Minnesota. So Ryan Wilson with 76% of the vote right now to Julie Blaha's 21% of the vote, and obviously a small amount of numbers when you look at, just a couple thousand votes in right now.
And from what we've seen already, Pat was looking at a map, Pat Kessler, and it was really only just a couple of counties in greater Minnesota at this point that are being registered.
Yeah, it's important to point out here that there's only 1% of the vote that so far has been counted here in Minnesota. It's going to grow very quickly, very soon, but right now just a very few number of votes. And they're in different parts of the state. We have some in southwestern Minnesota, some north of the Twin Cities. So we're seeing this, and what we're seeing is not a trend. It has nothing to do with whether somebody's going to win or lose. But it's really good now that the polls have closed that we are beginning to see the votes come in, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, and can we remind people too, like if you were in line when polls close at 8, you stay in line. I mean, if for someone happens to be streaming us on their phone right now, waiting in line,
in Chisago City, maybe.
Yes.
That is the state law. If you're in line at 8, you get to vote.